Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's Wednesday at 1 show. I am very, very, very excited this afternoon because I have two of my favorite people on the show with me today. I have Miss Andy Lyons, who is an entrepreneurial guru, coach, trainer, neighbor, and great friend. And I have my now acting executive producer for the Wednesdays at 1 show, Mr. Tony Hippolyte, who is all things hospitality, marketing, music, just an all-around talent. Guys, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Happy to join you anytime, Eric, especially live.
So, as you both know, we're going to play a little bit of trivia this afternoon on the Wednesdays at 1 show. And we're going to go over the rules for everybody, but I've kind of gone through the rules with you guys. You guys don't know really anything about this game, but we've gone through the rules. And what we did just before the show started is we flipped a coin to see who has control of the board. And that will be Miss Andy Lyons. So just to update everybody on how this game goes, there are categories, and in each category, there are a series of questions. The person in control of the board will have the question and 4 selections. They will choose one. The person not in control of the board has the option of saying same or choosing a different one. If they say same and the answer is right, the winner, the person in control of the board, gets 3 points. The same person gets 2 points. If that person is wrong and the person who's not in control of the board picks something else and they're right, they get 2 points and they get control of the board for the next question. So some questions may come up as we go along, but that's the basics of the game. And so we're going to get started right now. So, Andy, you have control of the board and you can select your topic.
Entertainment for 1,000, Eric.
I love your energy already. I love it. Okay, so here we go. Entertainment. Okay, the song Edelweiss comes from which musical?
A, The Sound of Music.
Tony?
Same.
Okay, so I already know the answer to this. So that's 3 points for Andy and 2 points for Tony. Let's take a look. And Andy, you retain control. Please go ahead. What is Marge Simpson's maiden name?
You would think I would know this. So this is a 100% guess. I'm going to go with B.
B, Tony?
I'm going to go with D.
D. Okay, so let's see here. Andy, you said B.
Yep.
That is wrong.
Okay.
Tony, you said D. That is right. Tony, you get 2 points. Andy, unfortunately, you get none.
0.
And Tony, you are in control of the board. Which of these singer-songwriters is not from the USA?
This is embarrassing. Either A or C. I'm going to go with B, I'm guessing. Yeah, B.
B as in boy?
B is in boy.
Okay.
It's definitely A, from Montreal, Canada, Quebec, Canada. Leonard Cohen.
Okay, so let's see here. You said B as in boy. Tony, you are wrong.
That's what
Andy said A.
She's right.
She is right. So, Andy, you get 2 points. Tony, you get nothing.
I knew it was A too, man. I knew it was A. I was doubting myself.
Okay, so On to the next question. Which actress was once married to singer Paul Simon? Andy, you have control of the board.
C, Carrie Fisher.
Carrie Fisher and Tony?
I think I'm gonna go with C as well.
So both C. All right. So 3 points for Andy, 2 for Tony. Andy,
No,
you retain control.
So if you say
Who?
when you say I have control, that means I could go to
Yeah.
a different category if I wanted to.
No, we have to get through these questions.
Got it.
It just means that you get to answer first, which gives you control of the sort of dynamic of each question. Who sang the theme song to the first series, The Osbournes?
I'm trying to imagine if I were Ozzy and can't remember her name, who I would have as a singer. Sharon, thank you. Sharon, I would know if it were Dolly Parton, so that's out. So, and I know it's not Pat Boone. I mean, give me a break. So it's going to be whoever Dennis Waterman is or Jose.
So you're saying B?
I'm going to go with B.
Okay, B. Tony?
I think I'm gonna go with B as well.
Okay, Sane?
Ooh.
You are both wrong. Tony, you have the next guest. Guess.
A, Pat Boone.
Andy?
Wow. I'm going to go with Jose.
Okay, so Tony says Pat Boone. He is correct.
I am in shock.
Tony.
Pat Boone singing for the Osbournes. Oh my gosh, that just shows you I was being very judgmental.
Tony, control is to you. Who had the 1993 hit with Dream Lover?
With Dream Lover, B, Madonna.
Andy?
1993. I mean, I feel like I know all of Madonna's songs and I don't remember Dream Lover. So I'm going to go with Boys to Men.
Okay, so B for Tony. Wrong. A for Andy. Wrong.
What?
So that's got to be Mariah because
Tony.
I don't think Beyonce was around.
Obviously, it's Mariah Carey because Beyonce was basically like 6 years old.
And Andy?
I'm Mariah Carey all the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Correct. So for that one, you both got 2 wrong. So it's 2 for Tony, 1 for Andy. Tony, you're in control. What's that?
What category is this? Is this still music?
This is entertainment.
Oh, it's still entertainment. Okay, yeah. All right. Go ahead.
What was the first real name of Harpo Marx?
It might have been D, Adolf.
Okay, D says Tony. Andy?
You know, I was kind of thinking that too, Tony, but I'm going to go with B because why not? It's an A name, Arthur.
Okay.
Total guess.
So Tony says D. He is correct.
Yay!
That's 3 for Tony. That's a big goose egg for you, Mrs. Lyons. And Tony, you retain control. Who is the female vocalist in the band Garbage?
Yeah, I know this man too. I will have to say C, Shirley Manson.
Tony says C. Andy says
I'll go with C too.
Sir.
okay.
Thank you, Tony.
You retain. Tony, keep going. David Jude Hayworth is the full Christian name given to which actor?
Jude Law, A.
Okay. A. Andy, you say.
I'm going to have to go with A too. It just seems so obvious.
Okay.
I think it's wrong. Oh, man.
3 for Tony, 2 for Andy. Continue, Tony. Which of these is not a name of the 3 fairies featured in Disney's Sleeping Beauty?
Oh, Val. That's embarrassing. I never saw the movie, if I'm being honest. Um, not the name. I want to say
Not.
I think it's Merriweather. I think. Yeah.
D, says Tony.
And I'm going to go
Andy?
right there with you. D. It doesn't feel very Disney.
Okay. So D, Merriweather.
Ooh.
Wrong.
Whoa.
Andy, it's to you.
B, fauna.
And Tony, what do you say?
C, Golden Light.
Okay. So fauna is wrong. Golden Light.
Yay,
is
Tony.
right. Okay. So that's
Whew, we got through entertainment.
That's 2 for Andy. That's 2 for Tony. That's another goose egg for you, Andy.
Thank you. 0.
Oh, okay. So that took about 9 minutes or so to get through. So that's the time frame we're thinking about. This is our first time for everyone going through this. So that gives us a sense. We're going to go to the categories. And Tony, it is your choice to select the category.
Let's do a history.
Okay, here we go. And Tony, you are in control. The name of which Italian born in 1469 is synonymous with deception and manipulation?
Machiavelli. D.
D is what Tony says. Andy?
D.
Correct, both of you. Tony, that's 3. Andy, that's 2. And you are in control, Tony. What was the occupation of Adolf Hitler's father?
I think he was a postman. C.
Postman, C. Andy?
Painter. D.
Okay, so postman is wrong. Painter is wrong.
Well, there we go.
Andy, it's to you.
Ay, ay, ay. Well, I'm just going to go with scaffolder because I don't remember anything about customs official. But that doesn't mean anything.
And Tony?
I'll live on the wild side and go with A, customs official.
Okay, so the winner of this one will get 1 point.
Or
The loser
0.
will get 0.
Yeah.
Yes. 0.
I have a lot of zeros.
Tony, it's still to you. Whose first murder victim was Mary Ann Nichols?
History. Jack the Ripper. A.
Jack the Ripper. Andy?
Mac the knife.
Mac the Knife. So let's see here.
Oh, Jack the. I just felt that name was not current. Oh well.
Continue on, Tony. What was the American informal network that helped black slaves escape from the South?
A. Underground Railroad.
Andy?
A. Underground Railroad.
Okay. 3, 2. Continue, Tony. Sir Ernest Shackleton was a famous one.
He was an explorer. C.
C.
Andy?
C.
Both C. Excellent. Continue, Tony. Which 19th century British Prime Minister was also known by the nickname Dizzy?
I feel like it's obvious, but it's not obvious. Let's go with B. William Gladstone.
B is Tony's choice. Andy?
A.
Okay. B is incorrect. A is correct. Andy, you're on the board. Andy, you're in control now. What name was applied to French Protestants in the 16th century?
You think I would know this? 16th century. It's going to A.
Andy says A. Tony, you say
D. Huguenots.
D is in dog Huguenots. So A is Frisians. Wrong. D is Huguenots.
This is why Tony has to go first, because then I will just do what he says.
Tony, back to you. Which Englishman was known as Longshanks?
Oh, dang, I knew this too. Peter Crouch. D.
D says Tony. Andy?
My direct ancestor, C, King Edward I.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. This is wrong, Tony. This is correct, Andy.
We don't. He does Ancestry.com, and he told me that.
We don't care about nepotism here at the Wednesdays at 1 show. So if your relative gets you some points, we allow it.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you get control of the board.
Oh,
who was the first person?
I forfeit, channel? And Tony can go.
No, you got to pick first.
Oh, Lord. Out the use of artificial aids. I don't know. I feel like it's A or C. I'll go, I don't know. A.
Okay. A. Andy?
Total guess.
Tony?
I'm going to try D, Captain Matthew Webb.
Okay. So A is incorrect.
My guessing is terrible. Way to go, Tony.
2-0. Which organization had its 100th birthday in 2008?
A, FBI.
A. Andy?
A.
3, 2. Tony, you did very well in that round, but there's time for you, Andy. These are the categories that are left: general knowledge, dictionary, food and drink, geography, science and nature. Also, by the way, I didn't say this before, and I'm pretty sure, so if I mess it up, then we'll figure it out. But I think you can go back to categories if you like.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, is it my turn to pick or
yep, Tony?
It's Andy's turn.
Oh, it's my turn? Oh. Yes. Food and drink, please, Eric.
Okay. Food and drink for 1,000. You know what? Just before we get going, we know we're going to do food and drink. I'm going to take a little, we're just going to take a little break here. And what I want to do is I want to give you guys an opportunity to tell the people who you are. So we've gone to 2 rounds. I'm going to start with you, Miss Andy Lyons. Ladies first, always here on the Wednesdays at 1 show. Andy.
Chivalry never goes out of style. Thank you. I'm Andy Lyons.
So tell us who you are.
1 minute. Hi, everyone. Andy Lyons. I'm a startup founder coach. I'm host of the bi-weekly live stream show called Startup Life Live Show with Andy Lyons. And I co-host a monthly pitch event here in Boston called Founders Live. I help founders build their businesses with my Anti-licious advice, which means I help them save time and money and have fun while they're building their new business.
Outstanding, Andy. As always, you're excellent. Thank you so much. Tony, tell the people who you are.
Tony Hippolyte, digital marketer, freelance web developer, temporarily unemployed in the real world, but we're still surviving in this game, but doing pretty well on the side, working with Transmit Marketing, where we basically help support small to medium-sized businesses get their vision on a digital footprint, whether it's through their websites, social media, and other forms of digital marketing. And then also, I coordinate with other entities like Eric himself, working on virtual experiences and just trying to, navigate this new world that we live in right now. So that's me in a nutshell.
Outstanding as always. As always, both of my star contestants are doing great. Oh, and before we get into this, I just wanted, because there's a mutual friend that is among us. And we all know Andy. We love AJ. Good to see y'all, folks. This is AJ from Pulse and Synergy. AJ, I owe you a phone call, my man, because I want to talk to you about your big plans for 2021 and beyond. So thank you for tuning in. I so appreciate having you here. And with that, back to the game. So, Andy, you have chosen food and drink. Let's go to it. And you have, I forget if you have control of the board, but we're going to give you control of the board.
Oh, because I've had so many zeros.
Listen, this is new for all of us. You guys are doing great. I don't know any of these answers, by the way, because I'm kind of doing it in my head. I'd have a long list of zeros. So
I have a
here
new
we go.
strategy. Let Tony go first, and I'll just say what he said. And then I'll have
Whatever
a chance.
works.
I won't be such a loser. Okay, go ahead.
Whatever works. Okay, so here we go. Food and drink. Which German word is a distilled beverage?
Oh, for crying out loud. Oh, God. Distilled. So it's got to be the alcohol versus the beer, right? Who can I talk to? Do I get a lifeline?
I think you're doing it. I think you're doing good. Trust your instincts.
All right. Well, then I'll go with schnapps.
Okay. C. Tony.
D. Pilsner.
I almost did D.
Okay.
And, oh my God.
Hey.
It's a miracle. And thank you.
Which drink is associated, Andy, in control? Which drink is associated with Oktoberfest?
That would be D, Eric, beer.
Excellent. Tony?
You sure it's not wine? No, of course it's D, beer.
That was easy.
3 and 2.
What?
Andy, keep the sound effects coming, please. Which name, Andy, is a type of orange and a part of Tel Aviv?
Total guess. No idea. A type of orange. B, blood.
B, blood.
B, blood.
B, blood.
Same thing. Okay.
Oh.
Both wrong.
Blood orange.
Tony?
Dang.
Okay, then it has to be Hoffa. C.
Yep. I almost went with C.
You guys
too.
agree on that one? Same?
Yes.
Very bizarre.
2, Tony. 1, Andy.
No,
Tony, you are up.
Tony won. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, right. You both chose it, though. You both chose the same.
Yep.
Okay.
So he gets 2, you get 1. This is kind of the second round inside of the same question. Coonawarra, Penfolds Grange, and Noble One are all wines from which country?
D, South Africa.
D, as in dog, South Africa. Andy?
Well, my strategy is to always say what Tony says.
So D also?
No, but Coonawarra, that's such a Australian name. And I'm trying to think if I've ever had a noble one, but he's been on all the wine shows with you. So I'm going to go with Tony. D, South Africa.
Yeah, I knew I was wrong. It's. I'm not gonna say what it is.
No, don't say anything because Andy still has a choice.
I'll go with Australia.
And Tony?
A, New Zealand.
Okay. Okay, Andy, making a comeback. That's a goose egg for you, Tony.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Which is an Italian fish stew?
Well, I know what it's not. So I know it's not gnocchi or bruschetta. So let me go with D.
D as in dog, catch it. I can't even try.
I will also go with D, cachucho.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Tony.
Excellent. 2 for Tony, 3 for Andy. Andy remains in control. Flounder is the common name for which fish?
I'm just going to say no, because I don't see it ever called that. Common name, C, cod.
Cod, C.
I will also go C, cod.
Yeah, it's
both
B.
wrong.
I'll go with B.
It's Tony. Tony goes.
Oh, shoot. Sorry, Tony.
So it is definitely, absolutely a mackerel then. I was just trying to follow the answer.
No, I think you're right with mackerel.
Okay, so you both are saying B.
Yes.
Oh.
Andy, back to you.
D.
D, hake.
Yep.
So this is a rare 00. If we get all the way out, if we get all the way to the end and we've had all these wrong answers and we have the last answer remaining right, we're not giving points for process of elimination. So 00 there, flat fish.
I'm happy that I was not alone.
Andy, you retain control. Which of the following heats food by means of electromagnetic waves?
D.
Tony?
D, microwave.
Okay. 3, Andy. 2, Tony. Andy still in control. Coffee brewed by forcing very hot water under pressure through coffee is known as a what?
Espresso, D.
D, espresso.
I take a double espresso right over here, please. Thank you.
Andy in control here. The Swedish feast smorgasbord means what?
I mean, I like C, which is what I've been doing since March, but I will go with D.
D, Tony?
I think it's D as well.
Andy, on a roll. In 1997, a fictional autobiography, I Melt for No One, was released about which candy?
A.
I will go
A.
C, Hershey's Kisses.
Okay.
All right.
3, 0. Andy, that was a very good round for you.
Thank you. It's
Very
a comeback
good.
round for me. Thank you.
This is the comeback round for you. Tony, the category choice is yours.
Let's go with science and nature.
Science and nature. And Tony, you are in control. And what was the name of the wild European ox last seen in the 17th century? Yeah, everyone knows this.
I'm gonna go D. Brahmin.
D. Brahmin. Andy.
C.
To you, Tony.
A. Oryx.
Andy.
Just for kicks and giggles, B.
2-0. To you, Tony. In which decade did the last known Tasmanian tiger die?
1930s. C.
C.
Hashtag, hashtag what he said.
Scoring is the name of the game. Which of the following is an amphibian creature, Tony?
B. Frog.
Andy?
B. Frog.
Okay. We have some players on a roll. Tony, which of these is the biggest whale?
Biggest whale. A. Sperm whale.
Agree. A. Sperm whale. Well.
Oh, damn, yeah.
Ooh.
Andy, another one?
Blue whale.
Tony?
C. Blue whale.
Hey.
Yep.
Excellent. Andy, you're in control. A labor is the collective name given to what group of burrowing animals?
D. Moles.
D. Moles.
Both moles? Very good. Andy, you're still in control. In mathematics, the symbol for multiplication resembles which letter?
That would be D for X.
DX.
I'm writing in the scores before I even click it. Andy, you're on a roll. In terms of communication, what does VoIP stand for?
D.
Same thing, D.
Andy, continue on. Which creature lays the largest eggs?
D.
D. Ostrich.
Tony?
As well. D.
I wasn't sure about that one. I thought that may have been like a trick question. Andy, you are on a roll here, lady. An allotrope of carbon is sometimes better known as what?
B. Diamond.
A. Lump of coal.
Okay, let's see here. Okay. Andy, continue on. Roughly how long does sunlight take to reach the Earth? As long as this answer is apparently.
I have no idea. Chad? Look, I'm going to be totally obnoxious. D. Totally not true.
A. 8 minutes.
Okay, so wrong for D. 2.
We need some game show music, Eric.
Woo!
I know. Okay, so we are going to make this our last category, and we're gonna hustle through it. We're about 35 minutes in. We want to try to get out by 45. Andy, you're in control of the board.
Again?
Remember, you can go. Yep.
Oh no, that's right.
Did
Tony
you
went
just-
last time. That's right.
Yep. Remember, you can go back or you can choose one that hasn't been done yet.
Let's do general knowledge.
General knowledge, and Andy, you are in control. I'm never gonna dance again is a line from which hit of the 1980s?
I got this, baby. I got this, baby. Ow! Careless Whisper. Uh-huh. George
D.
Michael.
D, same thing. D, Careless Whisper.
Okay. Continue on. What is 4 cubed, Andy?
B.
B as in boy?
Yes.
Okay. Tony?
That will be C, 64. C.
That's right. Because it's 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4.
Where would you find a bassinet, Tony?
D, baby's bedroom.
D.
You guys are getting the hang of it. Tony, which ocean liner began her last voyage on May 1st, 1915?
D, HMS Hood.
Andy?
C. I'm going against my cardinal rule here, but
Andy, Kowalski is one of the most common surnames in which country?
it better be Poland because I'm married to a Paul.
B.
Yes.
Same thing. D, Poland.
Mr. Lyon's mother's name, Tarasinski.
Okay, Andy, continuing, there are 3 people per square kilometer in Australia. How many in the UK?
A.
A densely populated island. Tony?
I will have to go with A as well. Ooh.
Tony, it's on to you.
Yeah, B. I thought it was B initially. I was like, B.
Tony says B. Andy?
I'll go with Tony. B.
Tony, when the feeling is gone and you can't go on is a line from which Bee Gees hit?
How deep is your love, B?
B. Andy?
B.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Andy?
D.
Tony?
Hey, Jive talking.
Okay. Andy, which would you put in a traditional squab pie?
B. Pigeon.
A, pheasant.
Andy, a long time is said to be till the what comes home?
C.
C.
Andy, if someone is lachrymose, what do they do a lot of?
B.
B.
Tony? Both B?
Ooh.
Tony?
A.
D.
Good job, Andy.
Well, it had water in it. They just didn't know which one, crying or sweating.
Okay, so that is the game. We're at 140 right now. Thank you, guys. I
Thank you
learned a
for
lot.
having us, Eric.
I learned a lot about what I don't know anything about.
It
And
was a lot of fun.
I want to first thank you guys for coming in and playing this game. I also want to tell anyone who's watching or who will watch this is that the concept of the Wednesdays at One show is, I guess, kind of like anything goes, right?
Yes.
We had some incredible rappers on a couple of weeks ago. We're doing a game show today, and I'm going to tell you that this idea of a game show was put into my head by my executive producer, Tony Hippolyte. I said, that's a great idea. How do we do it? And he said, I don't know, and then just hung up the phone. So he just left me to my own devices. This is what I came up with. And so I like what we did here. I love the questions. I felt like that some of them were hard, but they weren't like Einstein level. They were kind of in the middle, right?
Absolutely.
So I really like these questions. How did you guys feel about the game?
Loved it.
Cool, very interesting.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tally up these scores. I'm not gonna say. I think we're all winners here.
Yes. It's all
we
good.
are all winners here. But I'm gonna tally the
some
scores
days you're
after we
a
go
hero,
off
some
the
days
air.
you're a winner.
We're gonna tally up after I go off the air. And you're right, Andy. I think we're all winners all the time. This game is not gonna define us.
Right. You're either winning or learning.
Yes. But I think that this is a good insight into, just to kind of turn the conversation a little bit before we go, it's a good insight into what people are doing virtually. They're playing games. They're maybe having things, shipped to them so that you can have a mutual experience, whether it's like maybe putting together a model or maybe sampling some food, or drinking a little bit of wine or beer or some other schnapps maybe from Germany we learned about today. But I like the idea of these shared experiences. I know that there's a vaccine on the horizon. I know that people are really antsy in their homes, but I think we still have to work to figure out how we're going to connect with each other virtually until that day when we all are vaccinated and safe and can go back out into the world. What I want to ask you guys before we wrap up here is, the common answer is like, I'm going to go to a restaurant, I'm going to go to a bar, I'm going to maybe go to a concert or whatever. Let me ask you, what do you guys think you're going to be doing, or maybe what do you miss most now, and what will you be doing first when you can kind of get back out into the world? Andy, what do you think that will be for you?
Hugging in real life, hurling. I'm going to find you and everybody I know and love. I might just go up to perfect strangers and hug them. I just miss looking in someone's eyes in person versus a camera and then giving them a big old honking hug and being hugged in return.
I like it.
Connection.
Tony?
I'm going to be grateful to just not have the anxiety of just being social. Like when you're like at the grocery.
Speak up a little bit, Tony. I can't hear you.
I'm just gonna miss the anxiety of being social. Like just when you go to the store, like I feel like I have like a virtual glow around people's body, and I'm like, that person might have it, or that person might have it.
That's right.
It's kind of like that cloud over your head, like there's always that risk, that inherent risk, and being able to just navigate the world without being concerned about risk and being able to hug and touch things. And, we think about everything twice now. Touching a doorknob, sitting in the car, picking up fruits at the grocery store. Like you feel like, oh, could they have it? It's just being able to be free of that concern will be a massive relief.
No, you're right. I'm going to miss, I'll tell you right now, one of the first things I'm going to do is show up at someone's house uninvited, either to their barbecue or their house proper. And people are welcome to show up in my house. I miss being in, backyard barbecues and birthday parties and all those great
porches.
celebrations
Mhm.
that people that we do in our homes. I really miss that, and I can't wait to get back into into that, where you can go to the backyard party or barbecue or the birthday party, or just sit around in someone's living room and talk trash and have a nice drink of something. I miss those days, and I'm looking forward to getting back to those.
Great answer. Great answer.
So with that, a nice, clean, tight 45 minutes of trivia and talking a little bit about the post-COVID world. And I want to thank you guys that are watching this. And I want to thank my two incredible participants, contestants, friends, co-hosts with me today on the Wednesdays at 1 show. We'll be back next Wednesday at 1. I don't know what it's going to be, but I hope that you'll be there. Thank you once again, guys. We'll see you next week.